All right. I want to talk to y'all about something I never really thought about until, you never really think about this until it's really kind of too late. I want you to think about your time and your activities. Y'all know I don't have a phone, but I waste time. I have other things I waste time on. I always talk to y'all. I know I'm always griping at y'all and making fun of y'all. But there's a lot of times in my life that I just waste time on meaningless things that aren't helping me get anywhere. When I was a kid, I didn't think that. When I was a kid, of course, gas was cheaper, but I don't know how much cheaper it was compared to how expensive everything else was. You can say back, well, we spent 90 cents a gallon of gas. Well, going to the movies was $1, and hamburgers were 50 cents. It's all relative. But we would spend all Saturday night driving up and down South Main. Now, that was a waste of time. However, flip side of this, right? And there's way more than this. This is not a gripe session, right? I notice a lot of people now are playing some football game. And there's some football game going on. You want to talk? Is that on there? Okay, I see a lot of people doing that, and there's nothing wrong with that. When is it funner? When you're playing the computer, or when you're playing somebody you know? And that's making my point. That's less wasting time than when you're just playing yourself. Why? There's something going on. There's a connection. There's a stupid memory being made. Okay? Now, when I was driving around, and I spent many, many, many Saturday nights driving up and down South Main following Dee Murphy. We never pulled over and talked. I just followed her. Wasted time. There were other times, I'll never forget the time, Alan Gratz, okay, he shot a piece of ice. We were at the turnaround in Rutherford. There's a CVS on the corner here, and here's the college up here. This used to be the turnaround. This wasn't here. There was a place called the Turnaround. It was like a pool hall. You could get like concession stand place, people hung out, and you go this end of South Main and go around the block and go back. That's called the Turnaround because it was the turnaround. We were sitting right here. Teresa Sansom was in the back seat of this car in the turning lane. The back seat. And the front, I'm going to go ahead and say both windows were open. She's in the back seat. I was driving, we turned. Wait a minute. Was Alan driving? Alan was driving. Alan Gratz was driving. He was driving a stick, turning the corner, and he shot a piece of ice in Teresa Sansom's ear in the back seat of the car. One of the most amazing moments of my life, okay? Now, we were wasting time. But that's a memory we all have that I'm going to remember for, I got to call Gratz and see if he remembers that. But I guess one of my points I want to make today is we waste so much time on empty, selfish pursuits. It's less empty and less selfish when it's shared with other people. Does that make sense? Now, we're distracted. We're distracted like no other generation has ever been distracted. Y'all agree with that? Back 100 years ago, and I heard somebody talking about, this is all about Thanksgiving, okay? I heard that some study, like 80% of people, I don't know where it was, I just kind of barely heard a clip of it, felt like they had nothing to be thankful And I think part of that is, okay, 100 years ago, people worked their butt off. If you wanted, okay, let's say your typical rural family. I don't know about city folks, but rural family, 100 years ago, what was their life like?
Work.
It was just work. All right? Mama gets up, let's say there's 5 kids. Okay, there's 5 kids. Making food for 7 people, that was an all-day thing. You didn't have stuff. I mean, you might go to the grocery store, but you bought stuff that you could cook. And there wasn't a beep. There was a, put the log in the fire, and let's heat that up, and let's heat that. It was an all-day thing. And you worked. And there wasn't vacations. People didn't go on vacation. Rich people did, but like most people didn't go on. There wasn't a lot of free time. There wasn't a lot of fluff. There wasn't a lot of time to think of what do I want. Does that make sense? It was just, I gotta get these things done so we can survive. And somebody mentioned, okay, cleaning clothes. 100 years ago, cleaning clothes meant whoever's clothes need to be cleaned, you have to do it one at a time. And you might even be knocking it on a rock or something. I mean, bless you. And if you're, and usually it was a woman doing it because the man was out doing work. All right? Now, I'm not trying to, not getting off that cliff, but it's an all-day thing. If you're mama, you had to be cooking all the time, you had to be cleaning all the time, and there wasn't time to, oh, I just need time for myself. I mean, there wasn't any of that. And the dad was out working in the fields or working here or working at the, and there wasn't leisure, there wasn't fun, they didn't have time for, well, I sure wish, or I want that. And then things started happening, technology happened, and you had washing machines, and you had, just things that saved time. And so like around the 20s and 30s, people started to have leisure time. People started to have more free time and more stuff and more interests outside. Today, we got way more free time and leisure time and time to think about what do I want and what do I not have. And what do they have that I don't have. And, okay, I know people who get depressed looking at their phones. Why do some people get depressed looking at their phones? Look at what these people are doing. Look at what these people have. Look at what I don't have. Look at what I can't do. And this is not bashing phone time. I wrote these things down because I spent the whole bus ride thinking about what I needed to do here. We're completely distracted from what's really important. And I know y'all ain't necessarily down with this, but 2 verses popped in my head. First one was Jeremiah 29:11. Does anybody know Jeremiah 29:11? For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. I don't have fluid seats in my truck. I don't. Summertime, I think about that a lot. Okay? God has plans for me to prosper me. He has, the things He wants for me are good, and it's what's going to be good for me. Even if it's not what I want right now, because I really don't know what I want. I've never known what I want. You 5-year-olds know what they want. No. They think they know what they want. It's candy and a toy. And then when they get that candy and the toy, what do they want?
More.
They want another candy and another toy. But God has plans for me. Now, here's another one. John 10:10. Where'd it go? Get out of here. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. Satan wants us distracted. He wants our mind off of the things it needs to be on and on the things it doesn't need to be on. Because then he can beat us. God wants my mind on what it needs to be on. And then I will have life and I will have it to the full. If I'm distracted by stuff, I don't have life and I don't have it to the full. If I'm focused on what I need to focus on, I have life and I have it to the full. Does that kind of make sense? The more distracted we are, the less satisfied we are. The more selfish we are, the less satisfied we are. And I will tell y'all, and I've never been as real as I'm about to be with maybe with one person, but not with anybody else. I had sexual relationships before I was married. They were empty. They were selfish. They were unfulfilling. And they caused nothing but problems. And they can cause problems years down the road. Now, a sexual relationship with the person God made for you at the right time is completely fulfilling and completely amazing. Because God's plans for me, He has plans for me to have a fantastic life, not to have a crappy life. But like a 5-year-old, a lot of times in my life, I make decisions based on what I want now. And just like a 5-year-old, it messed things up. We're distracted by a lot of things. Did y'all see what Snoop Dogg said the other day? He quit weed. It's kind of like me. That's like me quitting chicken fried. No, it ain't like me quitting chicken. That'd be like me. That'd be like me quitting blondes. I mean, he was the king of weed. Did you catch why he said I'm quitting weed?
His family.
His kids and grandkids. I'm paraphrasing. He said, I don't want them growing up with this. So he's really saying there's way more to life than this. When for years and years, he basically lived and said, this is what life is. There's so much more to life than we give. We take that's what I'm thinking of. Not a fake life. We take a false life. You know what I'm saying? We take less than the best and accept it. And we're not willing to accept the best. I came up with this today. I'm excited. We put air in our bank account. Does that do any good to put air in your bank account? No. When we waste time, when we spend time on all this garbage, we're putting air in our bank account. Now, I'm not talking about making money. But if you don't go to work, you don't get a paycheck. And when we do all this distraction crap, we're putting air in the bank account. When we're doing stuff we're supposed to be doing, that's actually putting in our life bank account. We're adding to our life bank account. Does that make sense at all?
Yeah.
I am right there with you. Okay? I'm not griping at you. I waste so much time on worthless crap. One of the things I do waste time on, it's a habit. When I get home in the evening and I get in the house, sometimes it's right there at supper time, and I'll grab supper and what do you think I do? I turn on the TV. What's on? I don't know. Let me find it. That's just like a phone. Let me find it. Let me look. That's a waste of time. Now, are there some good things that I can get out of that? There is. Matter of fact, there's one of them I'm fixing to show you. All right, matter of fact, let me show you now. This was I was folding clothes. And I go in the living room and I fold all the clothes and I turn on the TV and what do you think I put it on? Sunday afternoon.
Sports.
Well, okay, it was a sports thing, but it wasn't a football game.
Yes,
There was this CBS thing and it said, I think it was called Gridiron Greatness. And I was, I wonder what this could be. And I put it on and it just happened to be a story on Harold, Texas. Harold, Texas is 10 miles this side of Vernon. Where are we going? Where are some of us going to today? Vernon. We're going to pass right by Harold High School. Anybody, any hunters ever been through Harold on the way to Vernon or anything? It has an old water tower. It has a school, about 10 houses, and there might be a gas station store type thing, but it might be run down and not even. It is a nothing, desolate, empty place. And I saw this. I want to share this with you, and I want to talk a little bit more about it. It is partly about the school's football team. It's a 6-man school. But it's just a good human story. Y'all know what 6-man football is?
Yes, sir. The center catches passes.
Everybody's eligible. And matter of fact, and I talk about this, I know a few years ago there was a story on ESPN about them because they didn't have enough for a team. And a girl decided that she would play so they could have 6 people. So they could play football. And they ended up for life, forever they've been just horrid, just awful. I turned it on already. I pushed that button, didn't I?
No.
I thought I moved that over and pushed it. Give me a second, right?
Yeah, see now.
You said the wrong word. Huh?
Now, this is a good story, but I want you to really pay attention to what the coach says at the end. At the very end of the show, he's going to say something. Who's not 6 man?
Victory?
Victory's not 6-man.
Yep, I think they are.
Told them.
Aren't they? I think they are.
There's like 20 kids in that class.
Yeah, I think they're 6 men. Oh, victory. They are.
Gridiron Greatness.
What is Dane right now?
In Texas, there's a brand of football for everyone. From Pop Warner to Powerhouse Power Fives, all the way to America's team. In Harold, Texas, the Hornets play 6-man football in a town that's population hovers close to 100. But Harold High School's pride rises far beyond its numbers, redefining themselves on the field this season. The Hornets say the sting is back. Brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
Hey, one thing I love about us and what we're doing now, the score is what? 20, is it 25-0? And we're not even, look, it's 25-0, we're winning and we're not satisfied. Okay, because we've instilled that in you and you've instilled it in yourself. Okay, this is what I mean from day one, guys, of how much this program and you guys have changed it. You're in the locker room on the very last game of the year, mad that it's 25-0 and you're winning the game. Let that sink in. Hey, finish on 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes! Hit it from there. You go. Let's go.
There used to be a lot of stuff here. Gas station, grocery store, elevator, post office. it's pretty much died now. There's not hardly nothing there but the school. This is the biggest town between Amarillo and Fort Worth that the train stopped at.
I'll describe the things you've seen in books or on, whenever they show Small Town USA on the TV shows and stuff. It's just, got that nostalgia look.
If you come through here on a Sunday evening or any evening, there's not much going on in Harold, Texas, nothing. Something going on. That's what the community is, a community of Blue Lodge Trails. Texas and high school football. Oh no. I think that's what God made Texas for, was football.
Okay, it's gonna get a little creative, a little crazy tomorrow on the very first play. This is exactly what we'll do. Okay, execute it how we need to execute it.
Harold. Small school, that's for sure. We got maybe 130 kids in here.
With such a small school, the Harold Hornets often have to get creative. That includes playing football with just 6 hats on each side of the ball.
6 minutes, super fast pace. Back to back to back. No time to think, really.
But times have been tough in the small ranching town. The dwindling population, Harold High School didn't field a team from 2017 to 2019. Even when they did,
They've been down for 30 years. And everybody's got used to just taking advantage of Harold and beating Harold.
From kindergarten until last year, I can't remember winning a single game in high school. It's always been Harold. It's just Harold. Oh, it's another win. All they know is their name. For 13 years, they haven't had a winning season. So, for the last 5-6 years, they were probably 0-40. I guess I just wanted to go make a difference.
with the new staff under Coach Walker, came a new outlook at Harold, where his bond with his players off the field quickly earned their trust on it.
Grew up in a town called Vernon, Texas, which is about 10 miles away. I never would have dreamed of being here. Never would have thought that I would come to Harold. Harold was not where you wanted to go coach, because at times they didn't have teams. You know, they were known not to have a football team. I just looked at myself and looked at my family and said, why not? You know, why not be a part of something that you have an opportunity to go make a difference?
I tell Coach Walker all the time how much us as alumni and exes and stuff appreciate what they're doing. The winning is great, but to see the kids out there and just enjoying what they're doing has just been more fun to watch than anything.
Okay. Now do it.
It's been tough at times because why are you not at Vernon? Why are these kids not at this school or this school? But kids need a small school. Kids need this environment too, and I don't think enough people will respect it. People don't look at the entire picture of life, I guess.
We had leadership here that didn't care about it. People went away. People took their kids out of school. New leadership come in, then people brought their kids back. Everybody's back. The stands are back full like it used to be.
What's the perception of Harold? You know, it's just like, they're not good. They're not gonna win, they're not gonna be successful. So it's always been, I guess, in the back of my head, like, you know, what would it be like being at a program like that? And having the opportunity to really change it. It's special.
Go hard every single play, no matter what. Okay? Hard every single play. Sell out for the person next to you. Okay? This school deserves it, this community deserves it, you guys deserve it.
The Hornets got off to a 5-win start this year, with one last chance to tally its first winning season in nearly 15 years.
It's cool to say that we were those guys that started back up again.
No shot. No shot.
Let's go! They don't see the behind the scenes. I mean, it feels good when you prove them wrong. This is how it used to be. You guys did that. It means something to me. It's emotional to me. Because I care about each one of you. And I've
built that relationship with you, we built it with each other. I care about you, okay, and I care about your success. I hope we mean something to them. They do mean something to us. This community has wanted this, you know, for so many years, and these kids deserve it. The community deserves it, and to me, this is only the beginning.
Now, I know I show y'all
Sports, gridiron,
football stuff. That ain't about football. What's it about?
Taking chances.
Guy did what he didn't want to do. So he said, I was never part of the fight. He went somewhere he was never in the plan. Selfishly, he wanted to go to somewhere and with 20,000 people, you know, but he went there. You think he's sad he went there?
No.
It comes down to people. It comes down to, okay, you want to talk about it first. You'd rather play a game against somebody you know than play it by yourself, right? It's about people. And it's about how people affect us. It's about how we affect people. That's how God made it. That's his plan. For people to interact and impact each other. And the people who aren't thankful ain't looking around and seeing. Because there is so much to be thankful for. When you think you've got nothing to be thankful for, there's stuff to be thankful for. There's a song on this radio commercial. Amazon does it. I don't know why Amazon needs a commercial, but you ever heard those old 50s Christmas songs with the choir? They're all just, you know what I'm talking about? It's a song like that. And they use the word stuff about 70 times. We have stuff, you need stuff. At the end they go, stuff. And that's America. The reason that commercial's out there is because they know, yeah, people want to have stuff. That ain't it. And you know it ain't it. It's about people. And it's about how you impact people, and it's about how people impact you. And if you think you got nothing to be thankful for, you have got stuff to be thankful for. I promise you. You've got stuff that's crap. I know that. I know. But you got stuff to be thankful for. If nothing else. I care about you. I care about how you turn out. I love you guys. And I promise you there's a ton of people who feel the same way. Not everybody. Not everybody. But you've got stuff to be thankful for. And I want to make sure this week you don't miss out on that. And it's, yes, Thanksgiving. We ought to think of it all the time. But I don't want y'all to miss out this week and get mad because you didn't get the sweet potatoes you want, and you didn't get this, or this didn't happen. Most times it didn't happen because that ain't good for you. There's something else. I have plans to prosper you. I've said before, God doesn't throw out lightning bolts. Sometimes lightning bolts happen. God is here to prosper you. The thief is here to kill and destroy. And distractions is the main way he does that. But I just want y'all to know, you do have things to be thankful for. And it's not the things the world tells you to be thankful for. Everything's bigger than that. That make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you some stuff about the JFK thing? Was that kind of interesting yesterday? Wasn't it weird to see how different things were and how people did? All right, so I don't know if I told y'all. I told other classes that I grew up in the 70s, and that's when they redid the investigation for who killed Kennedy. And it was, the seventies and eighties were a huge time for all that. And so I got kind of, not obsessed with it, but really interested in it. And the way things went down, there's all kinds of conspiracy theories. Number one, you got this Oswald guy, who he killed Kennedy. He did it. He's the one guy that did it. He was a communist. A legit communist. He actually denounced his American citizenship and moved to the Soviet Union in the 50s. What's going on in the 50s? The Cold War. Okay, big time. Hello. No, he didn't. Did anybody call Kayla? Somebody trying. I thought he was just in the school somewhere. They're calling. Yes, but, and I told her, I talked to Reed about it a couple weeks ago, but I've got that bus, I can't, but I'm there without being there. All right. Didn't turn this off yet.